Welcome to the E-commerce Badassery Podcast, the place for scrappy female entrepreneurs who want to learn actionable steps and strategies to grow the traffic, sales, and profit in your e-commerce business. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster, a 20-year retail veteran who spent 3 years as the only employee of a 7-figure online store. That shit was crazy. I know exactly how it feels to do all the things, and I'm sharing everything I learned the hard way so you don't have to. I may have started this business by accident, but supporting badass bosses like you lights me the fuck up, and I am so stoked to see you grow. Are you ready, babe? Let's roll. Welcome back to the E-commerce Badassery Podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster. If you've been hanging with me for a while, then you know how much importance I put on email lists and focusing on list growth as an e-commerce business. But you may be struggling to figure out the best way to grow that list. My two go-to recommendations are always product or promo pre-launches and quizzes. But depending on the size of your audience, it might not always make the impact you need. A very popular way to grow an email list is through giveaways. I generally don't recommend them because they can attract a lot of people who just want free shit instead of actually buying from you. But does this mean that they're inherently bad or that you shouldn't do them at all? Not necessarily. I think as long as you go into it with the right expectations and understand that a lot of the leads you do get will stop engaging with you after the giveaway and you'll have to remove them from your list. Then I think it can still be a fun way to create some hype and excitement on social and snag a few valuable email subscribers. But just like any other marketing activity, giveaways aren't a sure thing. You need a decent audience, the right strategy, and a few key tactics you'll want to include if you want to make the most of it. And today's guest, founder of PopSmash, Gabe Mays, is here to talk us through it. Gabe started PopSmash with his best friend Frankie as a fun side project to solve a problem their wives had running their Shopify stores. Instagram giveaway apps at the time were poorly built and violated Instagram's terms of service, putting users at risk. Initially, they built a free Instagram-approved iOS app that grew quickly. Over time, they realized e-commerce stores had the best results and saw the giveaway incentive as an opportunity to drive more valuable business outcomes like growing email lists. They released the PopSmash Shopify app earlier this year, which uses Instagram giveaways to help merchants grow their email lists, and they see an average 43% email opt-in conversion rate. Now, building an app doesn't make him qualified to school us on giveaway strategy, but seeing the results of 10,000 giveaways does. And the really good news, it's simpler than you think. Ready? Let's hop into the episode. Hey, Gabe, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. And I think we talked about this already, and my audience knows this too, but I wouldn't say anti-giveaway, but they're not my favorite way to grow an email list because it does have a way of attracting people who just want free shit. But I'm really excited to hear about your approach and how your tool makes it really easy and all of that good stuff. So I'm coming in with an open mind. But before we dive into that, can you just tell my audience why we should listen to anything you have to say today?
I'd love to. So over the past 5 years, I've built 3 Instagram giveaway apps. And my co-founder and I, we've seen over 10,000 Instagram giveaways. So I'm pretty sure we've seen more Instagram giveaways than anyone. And to your point, there's a lot of ways to do them wrong. So it's really important to do them right to get those high quality followers that you want.
10,000 giveaways. That's crazy. I'm sure there's not one individual brand who will ever see that many. So I'm definitely excited to get your insight here. So why don't we just kind of start at the beginning of when should a brand consider doing a giveaway and when maybe they shouldn't bother?
So the biggest mistake we see is you can't multiply by 0. If you don't have a targeted, engaged following, then running a giveaway isn't going to deliver very good results for you. So if you have an engaged following who's interested in what you have, then you'll want to get them from your Instagram follower list onto your email list where you can better track, nurture, and convert them. But first, you need that quality Instagram following. Even if it's 1,000, as long as they're engaged, you can do it. But that's really the important thing because they're not going to help if you just don't have that.
That makes perfect sense. And remember, guys, we're really talking about a giveaway that you're doing in your own brand on your own pages versus like those old school loop giveaways and stuff like that. So it's really just up to you and your existing audience to make this successful. And really the ultimate goal too is growing your email list, which we're going to talk about how Gabe's app can help you do that. But it needs to be an audience that actually cares about what you sell, which will also kind of limit the just looky-loos who are there for free stuff, I imagine too.
Yeah, Jessica. And I think you summarized it well. You have to have a higher goal. Getting more engagement and more followers probably isn't going to give you the ROI that you want. That email list, that's where you make the money.
Absolutely. And you guys know how much I love me some email and how you can't build your whole business on social media because it could go away any day. Or even earlier today when I was trying to post to Instagram, it didn't post. Like it just kept thinking and thinking and thinking and it wouldn't go. And that happens more than we'd all like to admit, of course. So talk to me now. They've decided, okay, I have an engaged audience. I know that they're going to be interested in what I'm giving away and all that kind of stuff. What are some of your best tips for actually doing this well and making sure that people are paying attention?
So the most important thing is the prize. You got to decide what you want to give away. For your first giveaway, you don't want to give away something very expensive. I won't name the brand. It's a very small company. They had 100 followers that were not engaged. They gave away a $3,500 piece of furniture.
Oh my gosh.
ROI was not very great. So they didn't have that engaged following. But if you have the engaged following, you want to start small because you're not sure what your results are going to be. So I'd recommend starting with a $50 to $100 prize. You want to start with a prize that is actually targeted to your audience. If you're a beauty brand, give away a lip kit, for example. You don't want to give away an iPad, an iPhone, Amazon gift card, stuff that anybody would want. You want to make sure this aligned with somebody who you actually want on your list. That's the most important thing. So I'd say start there. Next is the giveaway post. People are scrolling their feed. You want to catch their attention. So overlay the text giveaway, big letters on the post, on the reel, wherever, just to capture that scrolling attention. Lastly, and the most important thing is just keep the rules simple. Follow us, tag your friends in the comments, go to my link in bio to join my email list. If you can do that, you've done better than 90% of the people out there.
The keeping it simple is so important because it will prevent people from taking any action. I was just having this conversation with a biz friend earlier, and we were talking about like the forms that people, service providers or whoever will make you fill out before you can even find out any information about what they offer. And you're like, I'm not going to sit here and spend 20 minutes on this. We just all are busy and we care about ourselves more than anyone else. So the simpler that you can make it, the more likely they are to take action. So I love how simple you are keeping that. In terms of how long to run a giveaway, how many posts to do, are there any sort of best practices that you've seen emerge?
2 to 3 days. 48 to 72 hours is definitely what you want. In the app, for example, we show the trend line of entries that you get. You see the surge immediately in the beginning, then it levels off because that's how Instagram's algorithm is. And that leads to, you want to post it at your audience's ideal time. If you post it in the middle of the night, you're going to get that Instagram boost when nobody's around. So go for noon, 1, sometime when people are around. And then 2 to 3 days is what you want to go for. We usually recommend 2, but you can go for 3 days. If you do go longer, you want to post stories or reminder posts just to try to point more people to that giveaway. But yeah, 2 to 3 days is ideal.
Got it. Do you see a spike like when it's closing, like you would on a promotion or a product launch or something? Like there's always the immediate spike and then the last chance one. Do you see that same thing with the giveaway or does it kind of wane off?
You only really see that post if people post reminder posts to their audience. Because some people will join your email list, but they won't actually double opt-in confirm. So you'll kind of see a spike in that because people remember to do that towards the end. But generally, it's a big bump in the front, then kind of gradually through the end of the giveaway. The other time you see it is if you do a giveaway collab, which we don't recommend because they get in this loop giveaway thing. But if you have a small following and you have an influencer or a local business that really aligns with your business, you can try that. If you have them do some posts, you can also see a boost there if you do a collab.
I mean, I'm all for collaboration, but like we've been talking about, you do have to be really careful on who that's with. It has to be really specific. Otherwise, it just attracts the people who want free stuff. So if you are a boutique, maybe you partner with one of your vendors, for example, or if you have a local presence, you can partner with another local business who has a similar or the same customer as you. Obviously, you want it to be complementary, but there really needs to be a through line between those two. Otherwise, it's just not going to make sense and you're not going to get the ROI that you want by any means.
The other important part about getting people who are aligned with your business is if you get all these followers who don't engage with your content because they don't care about it, it just drags you down over time. So it's another reason why it's really important to get people who are aligned and interested in your business. And after you post that giveaway, kind of have some really high quality content lined up just to remind them why they should stay following you and you don't get a bump and unfollows.
That's a really good point. And that actually brings me to the email piece of this. It's the same thing. So if you're using this giveaway to grow your email list and people are signing up, is if they are just there for the free thing and they're not actually interested in what you sell and they don't engage with your emails, they only signed up because it was getting them an extra entry or whatever, that's going to ultimately hurt your deliverability as well. Now, you can't completely avoid that. That is going to happen. That's why you need to clean your list about 3 months-ish after you did the giveaway if you notice these people aren't engaging with you. But you want to make sure that you are also sending them consistent content, that you have a welcome series, particularly for these giveaway people, so that you're going through that onboarding and nurturing piece with them so that they do stick around and eventually buy from you if and when they don't win, or even if they do win, right? Hopefully you're giving them something that's just a little taste of what you offer so that they have a reason to come back and buy. So just to kind of recap a little bit here, we're doing this giveaway for 48, max 72 hours. We want to make sure that we have an existing engaged audience. If you're going to do a collab, make sure it makes sense. You'll see the majority of your entries at the very beginning, do stories and all of that good stuff to remind people to go back and enter. Then you can also do some reminder posts and things like that. When people are, and I don't know if you've ever looked at it this way, but when I'm thinking about how I would tell a customer to do this, I would kind of line this up, like doing the actual giveaway during the times when I need list growth. So for instance, maybe I have a new collection that's dropping. Maybe I'll do a giveaway right before that, or I'll do a giveaway in Q3 to build my list up in time for Q4. Do you see any sort of difference in the engagement based on the timing that people do them?
Yes, especially around holidays. So at a minimum, 4th of July is coming up. You have New Year's, you have Christmas, pretty much any holiday. People love to celebrate things. Giveaways are fun. People are on Instagram to have fun. So have fun with them. And the giveaway is the way to do that. So definitely leverage those events to do it. And one other thing that reminded me is the reason you're doing this giveaway, because you capture emails on your website. You're trying to get people who aren't coming to your website. Because if they're on your website, you've already done the hard work. Yeah. You're trying to get people from social discovery, emails for conversions. You want these people who are low value to you, because you can't convert them that well on Instagram, into your funnel. So your note about personalization is really important. In fact, we give you tags, location, gender, things like that. Use those tags, like you said, to personalize that email content for that person so they feel like this is for me. Because opting in on it through Instagram is kind of lower commitment than opting in via your website. So meeting them a bit further towards where they are it just really helps that retention and keep them on your list.
That is a really good point. Like, it is so hard to get someone to take action off of Instagram because they're not there to take action. They're there to be entertained and see what type of content. Like, that's not what they go there for. It's very similar, like with Pinterest, for instance. If you've got everything else dialed in your business and you just got a whole bunch of time with nothing else to do, like then you can go focus on Pinterest. Otherwise, it's just going to bring you a bunch of looky-loos and you're not going to get any return on it because people are there for research and inspiration, not shopping. So it's the same thing really on any social channel. So I think it's really important that you do go in with it, understanding what they're there for, how much it actually means that they took the action. Like that was a big step on their part. And we are all guilty of this. My audience knows anytime I say something, I'm really talking to myself too. But we think that when we speak, like our audience should just automatically pay attention and jump to take action. That's just not the way it works. We have to work for it and make it worth their while. So the more personalized you can get based on that data, which is something, I think is so important in email, the better that experience is going to be for them. And I love that your tool, which we're going to talk about momentarily, gives them that data to take action on.
Just to emphasize what you said, like you got to give them a reason to give a shit.
Yes, exactly.
And we cheat by using the incentive because they want to win something. They want to have fun. We start off low commitment. Follow me, leave a comment. Do you want a little bit more? All right, well, give me your email address because that's a high commitment thing.
It's the same way too. If you are in person, people always ask me like, oh, I'm going to be doing this in-person shopping event. Like, how do I grow my email list? And I'm like, put a spin to win. People just love the experience. I don't know if it's because we all grew up watching The Price is Right. That's always what I did when I was homesick from school. So people just love that experience and they will give up their email for that. So you're really just creating that same sort of excitement, but online. The main giveaway post, that's the one that they're going to comment on, etc. Do you find that just a simple static image is the best type of content to use for that?
Really depends on how sophisticated you are. At a basic level, so reels get more engagement, but an image is easy to overlay giveaway in big white text or whatever stands out. So if that's all you can do, totally fine. People are scrolling, they see that, they're more likely to stop. If you're fancy and you can make a reel overlaying the giveaway text, then good on you, but don't spend 3 hours on it. What meets your ROI on time? That's kind of where I go. But the most important thing is to have the giveaway image. You can have the prize in the background. Just show them what they can win. Engage them. Engagement is the visual, but also the text that you have. Make it fun.
And if you do a reel, make sure that that text is visible for the entire duration of that video. Because remember, sure, you might have a really cool cover image, but that only shows statically when they land on your profile. Otherwise, if they're scrolling, it's going to autoplay and they're never going to see the cover. So you do have to make sure that that's visible the whole time. Otherwise, they're not going to know what they're looking at. You could always just create it as an image and then post it as a reel. So there's fun ways that you can play around with that. Is there anything in terms of giveaway strategy that we haven't talked about that you want to make sure we touch on?
In terms of days, Fridays, weekends, Thursdays kind of work best. So you can kind of get that weekend. We talked about 2 to 3 days. Keep the rules simple. There's the boilerplate text. This is not sponsored by Instagram, that kind of stuff. Our app does that for you, but you can Google a template if you want to use it. That's kind of the high level stuff. And of course, like we said, the image with giveaway text overlaid. That's the month thing.
I love it. So let's talk about PopSmash, which, by the way, I just love the name. It's so fun. It doesn't mean anything, but I love it.
It didn't mean anything, but now it does because a few years ago, I created an Urban Dictionary listing for it.
It's awesome.
And upvote it myself periodically. So since that's the Bible, it does mean something now. So
that's amazing. I love that. Oh my God. So guys, This is a Shopify app. Do you only work with Shopify specifically?
Today we do. So we started with a iOS app and a web app. They were just free giveaway pickers, but we saw that e-commerce stores do the best. So we decided to focus on Shopify. So the app that collects your emails is only for Shopify.
Got it. So give us a quick overview of the platform. What does it do? What are the specific features? And why do they want to use your app versus doing it some manual old school way?
Sure. So the essence of the app is to help leverage Instagram giveaways to incentivize your followers to get on your email list. And as part of that process, we capture some zero-party data just to throw in some tags into Shopify. So you start a campaign, you create your giveaway. It all takes a few minutes. You start it, track entries, track comments, validate email subscribers, including double opt-in validation. When the giveaway is over, you pick a winner with a click. You approve it. Simple as that. All commenters, all subscribers are synced to Shopify and whatever email service you have. Klaviyo is the one that we typically work with, but OmniSend, MailChimp, they're all supported. Anything that integrates with Shopify is supported. So that's it in a nutshell. I mean, I'd love to say it's more complicated than that, but the magic is in the validation because we are an Instagram approved app. So we use their official APIs to authenticate everything, validate subscribers, and then send them to Shopify for you.
Super simple. I kind of love the simplicity of it. And it's so funny because there's a student in the lounge, which is my membership for e-commerce business owners. And she had posted in there how she was using this app. And I had never heard of you guys. So I went and I Googled it and I was looking at it, checking it out. And then all of a sudden, like a day or two later, I have this email in my inbox from Gabe. And I was like, wait a second. I'm like, did I reach out to you? It was complete coincidence, apparently, but it is just super simple, easy to use. It's an app you install, and it's a great way to just get started and track everything. And so with the integration, and I'm just going to speak to Klaviyo specifically because that's my favorite platform and the one that I generally teach. Do those tags and whatever other data, does that get saved as profile properties? How does that information get passed over?
It depends on what it is. So for the location, we save it in the address field in Shopify, which gets synced to Klaviyo. And then other stuff like Instagram, that's where they came, gender, male or female, PopSmash, so you know it's a giveaway. Those are the things that get synced as tags to Shopify. And then in the next 2 months, we're going to allow the ability to add custom questions. So maybe you're a skincare business, you want to know if they have blemishes or whatever details you want to know, things like that. You can use those as tags as well in that future.
Got it. So the integration is actually coming from Shopify. So that means, guys, in Klaviyo, these tags that were added to the customer in Shopify will then show up in the Shopify tags field in Klaviyo.
That's correct. And the only exception to that is if you are using Klaviyo, we do have an advanced integration where you can add your API key. For example, if you don't want us to do double opt-in validation, you want to use Klaviyo and to follow the rules of whatever list you have, you can do that. But 95% of people just use the automated one.
Perfect. So what you guys can do too is once they sign up for the list, they get added as a Shopify customer, it gets imported into Klaviyo. Their profile is going to be marked in the Shopify tags. And then you can use that tag to create segments if you want to trigger a specific flow. Like you could always take that data and create flows to update it on a separate profile property, for instance, if you wanted to do that. So that's just like a little workaround on how you could get that into separate profile properties if it makes sense for the way that you do your dynamic content and all of that kind of stuff. If you want to learn more about that, I have a Klaviyo tech course called Klaviyo Badassery. I'll put a link in the show notes for you because it's too hard to explain on a podcast. So if they want to try your app out, where do they go?
They can just go to the Shopify App Store, type in PopSmash. That's right there. It comes with a 7-day free trial, so they can try it out for free if they want.
Amazing. And there's a special deal for e-commerce badassery listeners. Sometimes I get into that like podcast announcer voice. I apologize in advance for that. So they install it. And then when they go to like do the payment, they'll be able to put in promo code badassery BADASSERY, and you will get 50% off your first 3 months of using the app, which is already not expensive. So if you've been wanting to do giveaways and you need a tool to help you out, this is a great way to do it. We are recording this at the tail end of Q2, which means it's time to start list building in Q3 so that you have more people to sell to for the holidays. So this could be a really great way to do that. So if you're thinking about it, don't delay. That's the end of my announcer voice. Is there anything else that you want to make sure that we cover today, Gabe?
Whether you use our app or not, you don't own your Instagram audience. I know you always say this. You own your email list. Things are changing all the time. It's uncertain where they're going. Get your Instagram followers on your email list. Full stop. I don't care how you do it. Just get them on your email list.
Just make sure it's legal and that they gave you permission to do it. That would be the only thing. Oh, I have another question. See, when I do my solo episodes, I actually script them so that I make sure I get all my thoughts out and it's like in a way that makes sense and all of that. And then I do interviews and I'm like, oh, wait, I just had this random thought. So is there any support for SMS sign up, or is that on the roadmap?
Yes, not yet. It is on the roadmap. It's actually really complicated to run giveaways the right way, then do email validation so people don't actually get their bonus entries until they actually confirm opt-ins. So we're actually doing a lot more work around that, but that provides a model that's easy to translate to SMS, which we'll be doing next. So that is absolutely on the roadmap. So are other social networks. So are quizzes, surveys, all that kind of stuff. We're really excited to do all that stuff.
Got it. I know you started this really to just kind of solve the problems that your wife, who is a Shopify store and I think a brick and mortar too, did you ever expect that it was going to turn into this?
No, absolutely not. I mean, we built the iOS app for fun. It kind of exploded. We got thousands of giveaways, but you start to see trends. E-commerce stores, they just do exceptionally well somehow. So when we built the Shopify app, my wife's was the first one that we did. She only had 3,000 Instagram followers. She got almost 200 entries and 100 validated email addresses from the first one. And she's actually mostly on Facebook, but she got that from her Instagram following. So it worked surprisingly well. And we're happy to see the results from our customer. It's awesome to see because it kind of sucks that you have to pay money to Instagram to sell your products to your own followers.
Right.
Right.
When you put it like that, it does sound like really ridiculous.
On email, you don't have to do that. It's like marketing alchemy. You're turning lead, these followers, into gold, which are these email subscribers. And you track them better, you nurture them better, you support them better.
You just have so much more opportunity and control, and you can get so much more personalized with them. It's just a way better experience. And with all of your social channels, like your ultimate goal should always be to get them on your email list, however it is that you're going to do it. There's plenty of different ways, and giveaways are one way, and PopSmash is making it super easy to execute. So I love all of that. Thank you again, Gabe, for coming on the podcast, for hanging out, talking through this, for giving my listeners that special offer. Guys, I'll put all of the links to everything that you need to know in the show notes. But if you have questions, you could always reach out. I know, Gabe, too, you just kind of love to talk to the people. And so they can always reach out to you. So tell us where they can find you if they do want to connect.
So you can email me directly, gabe@popsmash.com. That's POPSMASH.com. If you do install the app, there's also a little link to book a meeting with me. If you want to talk giveaways, you want feedback on your giveaway. But yeah, email is the best way. And I'd love to talk to you, hear about your business, hear about your problems.
Amazing. I can't believe you just gave your email address out in public like that.
I'm bold.
You are bold. Thank you guys again for hanging out with us today. I know you could be anywhere on the internet, but I appreciate that you are here with us. I hope you have a kick-ass rest of your day, and I'll see you on the flip side, friend. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you like what you heard, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're looking to surround yourself with more product entrepreneurs who totally get your life right now, get your booty on over to the E-commerce Badassery Facebook group. Can't wait to see you there. Until next time, e-commerce friends, stay badass.